All right, how you doing, Mr. DJ? Back on my 80s and 90s YouTube channel. Gonna start counting down. Well, another fancy playlist. Kind of a fancy playlist. It's really based on Billboard's Top 40. Although there are some exceptions. There are some songs on here that did not make Top 40. And including this one coming in at number 40. Man, so that classic leather, lipstick, bikini, summertime, heavy metal jam, or call it hair metal. These guys, the sound of this record is kind of, call it sort of a precursor of sorts of Poison, which came along a couple of years later. Fancy playlist of July the 10th, 1985. Forgot to give you the date of the fancy playlist. July 10th, 1985. Debuting at number 40, Y&T with Summertime Girls. Yes, it was rock and roll, baby. Yeah, just that fun metal, baby. Just having fun. That's why I call it that. I just invented that word, fun metal. Yes, indeed. Summertime Girls by Y&T. But these guys, they go back. The original band members, well, officially they formed in Oakland in 1974, but three of these guys been playing long before that. Leonard Hayes and Bob Gardner and Wayne Stitzer, they were in a band. They formed a band. It didn't have a name, and they were just jamming on cover tunes. Then they added a guitarist. His name was Dave Manichetti, and that was in 1972. So they had themselves a band, and they got a call. Hey, would you like to play at our place? Got a call to play at their first gig, and but they didn't have a name. Well, here's how they got their name. At that time, there was an album playing on the turntable. Yesterday and Today by the Beatles. And the guys said, hey, let's call ourselves Yesterday and Today. They released two albums off the London record label, and that was in 1976. The one in 1976 was self-titled, and they released another album in 1978. They've been on various record labels, on Geffen and Avex Records, and after the London record label, they signed up with A&M. A&M Records. They released three albums on A&M Records, and not starting in 1981. They released one in 81, 82, and 83. They were critically acclaimed, these albums, but they were not commercial successes. Although there are some who think that Y&T put out their best music in the early 80s when they were on A&M. Well, they jumped on another record label, and I forgot the name of the record label. I thought I wrote it down, but I guess I didn't. But let's jump to their seventh album, Down for the Count. And that's when they had their biggest hit, Summertime Girls, Y&T. But it did not make top 40. It only made it up to number 55 on Billboard's Hot 100. It's quite commercial sounding. It had bite to it, but it was definitely seasoned with a nice melody. But Y&T, not a household name, and by the mid-'80s, a lot of the so-called contemporary hit radio stations would not play a song by an unknown band. A band would have to be big or gain traction before they would add it on their playlist. And so there it is, Y&T at number 55 on Billboard's Hot 100, but not for Mr. DJ. Debuted this song at number 40 on my fancy playlist back in the summer of '85. There's one other thing I want to mention about this song. It was produced by a guy named Kevin Beamish. Kevin Beamish, who produced High Infidelity by REO Speedwagon, their big commercial breakthrough album in 1980. As a matter of fact, Kevin Beamish, he sang parts on Keep On Loving You by REO Speedwagon. Well, he produced this album by Y&T. Didn't know they go that far back, though. Back to 1972, 1974. My goodness. Well, here we are with Y&T, Summertime Girls, leading off this fancy playlist of July 10th, 1985, debuting at number 40.